to Austin on October 19th. And we're just going to kind of go through the slides, and then we'll ask questions and answer questions and all that kind of stuff later. It says, where are we going? We're going to go to Austin, Texas. We're going to go to the Bob Bullock Museum this year and to the state capitol. When are we going? Friday, October 19th. We will leave Mambrino by 6:15 a.m. Please plan to arrive by 6. The doors right back over here will be open at 5:50. So meet us in the back parking lot because the charter buses will be back here. And a note to that, I don't know if this was in the PowerPoint anywhere. The school buses don't pick up the kids for this field trip. So if they're going to go, you have to get them here by 5:50 and 6 o'clock. We'll come back to Mambrino about 7, and we will use Class Dojo to communicate our arrival time in Granbury. And if you don't have that, let your homeroom teacher know, and they can send you home a paper where you can link up to the Class Dojo. We'll keep you updated on how far away we are, if we're earlier, if we're later, or whatever. But we're shooting for 7. And it says, why Austin? Because Texas history and the culture is a major component of the 4th grade curriculum. In social studies, that's what we study, it's Texas history. So students will have the opportunity to view artifacts and explore exhibits related to the history of Texas. Students will also see some of the inner workings of Texas government as they visit the historic Texas State Capitol and State Capitol Visitor Center. So we're going early this year because we like to be able to let the kids go into the chamber of where the representatives and the Senate is, and they're in session in the spring, so we wouldn't be able to go. So we're going to go in October so that they can see all of the inner workings. And students will create lasting personal memories that will allow them to connect to many classroom experiences now and in the future, because they do Texas history again in 7th grade. So it's like kind of giving them a baseline to extend on when they get to 7th grade. How will we get there? We will take a charter bus to and from Austin. We're going to have 3. We're going to have 2 long ones and one that's just a little bit shorter, but we have enough that all of the kids will fit on all the charter buses. All 4th grade teachers and additional school staff will attend to supervise and ensure student safety. Parents who are interested in attending as an additional chaperone should contact their child's homeroom teacher. All chaperones must be screened, which is a district policy, in order to accompany the student. So if you want to go, you need to turn in a background check form into the office with your driver's license. So the kids were bringing those back, but we send them back home and tell them that you have to bring it in because they have to make a copy of your license.
It's online this year.
Oh.
Yes, all the volunteer forms are online. We have no paper forms anymore.
So you don't?
No, there is a half sheet in the office. It went home in the first day folder. But we have a half sheet in the office, or from the website on the parent section, go to volunteers. It goes to @Garden. Everything is online. It's just a one-time. It's a whole district-wide.
So you don't have to send anything back or tell us here?
Is it every year they
You have to have a Texas ID of some kind. It can be a driver's license or a Texas ID.
Okay, so it's gonna be a state-issued ID.
No, it does not have to be scanned in hand. Because I already did.
Yes, it does. You make you do this
Well,
one.
you have to do that every year anyway to be on the campus. But
Yes.
to be a volunteer, it's all through online. Your driver's license will be put on there. You can upload your picture on there. Everything for the district, volunteer-wise, is on there. But if you want to be here on our campus, you do need to have your driver's license scanned. Yes.
Does that make sense to everybody? I didn't even know. You are so brilliant. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you.
That's why I came tonight.
You're my hero. Okay, so there you have that.
Yes.
Go online. All right, what is the cost? The student cost is $40 to cover the cost of the charter buses, and payments may be made in installments. We are not asking that their payment is made until October 12th, because that way we're 1 week out and we can see for sure how much money we have. So if you are like, well, I got like $10 this week, pay $10. The next couple of weeks, I got 20, send 20. So that's just make, however you want to pay it. We'll keep a record of it. The tour costs, all the tours at the Bullock Museum and the State Capitol are free to students. So this $40 has nothing to do with going into the Capitol or going into the museum. It's strictly for the comfort of the bus ride down there and back. Which the kids love, and so do we actually. Okay. Payments due October 12th. There are a limited number of scholarships that will be available, so if you are really in dire need of, I'm going to have some help on this, send us a note. We'll see what we can do to make it easier on you. I forgot to skip that, thank you. The chaperones, if you're going as a chaperone, you have to pay $12 at the Bob Bullock Museum. So the adults have to pay $12. Oh, and if you want to make donations to help other students, you can. We don't mind. It's gratefully appreciated. Okay, and here are some frequently asked questions. So maybe we can cut down on some of the questions tonight. What do the students need to wear or bring? They need to wear comfortable walking shoes. We do plenty of walking uphill, downhill, and on stairs. So the kids will wear sandals or, just not very comfortable shoes, and by the end of the day, they're like, my feet are really hurting, can't carry you, I love you. Okay, so comfortable shoes. They need to bring a light jacket just in case. It's mid-October, you never know if it's going to be drizzly, sunshiny, hot, cold, whatever. So bring a light jacket. They need to bring a lunch, and it needs to be in completely disposable containers. That means whatever you put in their lunch bag also needs to be able to be thrown away, because we don't have access to pack it all up and take it back to the bus, because when they drop us off at the Capitol, the bus goes and parks, and we don't see them back again until they come to pick us back up. And so we can't carry stuff into the Capitol. So, weather permitting, we will eat on the Capitol grounds before our tour begins. We're hoping it doesn't, do anything. I'm not gonna say that, or we're rain. Oh, okay. So they can bring light, nutritious snacks for the trip, but no energy drinks. So I told
We've had bad experiences with that.
It's been ugly. I mean, they drink these things and they're on the back of that bus, and then they're like, I don't feel so good. Okay, so no energy drinks, but they can bring snacks. I told my kids, I said, pack that bag that's going to have your lunch, pack it full of stuff, because you can snack on the way down there, because we're leaving at 6. We're going to provide some type of breakfast for them in the morning. We're working on that. And we're not going to get there till about 9:45. So that's a long time. They're going to be hungry. So they're in charge of their own snacks. So if they bring, fruit gummies or whatever, and they want to eat them at 8:30, I don't care, So it's just, you pack their snacks and tell them, and save some for on the way back. Because when we get done, they're starving. And we're not going back till 7, and we're not taking 3 busloads of children to like Dairy Queen or anything. I don't even know. Okay. So bring money for souvenirs. The kids can bring money for souvenirs. Talk to your students about keeping their money put away until they are ready to spend it. Because a lot of times the kids will pull their money out and say, I brought this to spend. And then 15 minutes later, they're like, I don't know where my money went. And they've dropped it, it's fallen on the ground, it's gone. And also talk to them about tax on their items. Because when they go to spend their money, they get up to the counter and they've got it full of, and it's $20, and all they have is $20. And they're like, well, you need $21.76. And they're like, so talk to them about tax, how that works. And due to bus space constraints, we discourage children from bringing pillows, blankets, and stuffed animals. No pillows, no stuffed animals, no blankets. Just, if they have a light jacket, that'll be good. The buses do sometimes get chilly, so it may just be good to send them with a jacket to have at least on the bus. Can students bring electronics? Students may bring their personal electronic devices with the understanding that Mambrino is not responsible for lost or stolen devices. So if it gets lost, they're responsible for it. The charter buses come equipped with electrical outlets, so the students will be able to charge their devices. So if you want them texting you, if they have a phone, or somehow keep in touch, and their phone's going to die, they do have plugs, so send them with a charger, they can plug it to keep it charged. And students are not allowed to take pictures of other students. Just because there is a policy in the district where we have to have everybody's approval get put on any kind of internet or any kind of website, and we don't know what, you know, the kids are just being fun and they're having a good time, but if they decide to post it to their, you know, whatever they can have, I mean, what they have, but we just don't want it out there. So they can take selfies with themselves, they can take a picture with me, or any of the other fourth grade teachers, but they can't take any with another student. If you want to chaperone, you need to complete a criminal background check and have your driver's license scanned at the front office. Wrong. That's not right. You just need to go online, go to the parent center, go to, what? Volunteers. And they'll be in there somewhere. Anyone who is volunteering must have a completed background check on file. So if you show up on that day, and I don't have you on my list, or they don't have you on their list as an approved chaperone, we can't allow you to go that day. So make sure you get that taken care of that day. Oh yeah, and if you're gonna bring like a family member with you, another adult, they also need to have that completed as well. Due to limited tour space and chaperone responsibilities, we cannot accommodate siblings or other children. So if you're gonna come, you just have to come with your fourth grade student, because there's not enough space for extras. Chaperones will be required to monitor a group of 4 to 5 students. What we usually do is we give you a card, an index card that has 4 or 5 students' names on it. We hand it to you, we introduce you to your children. Your job is just to kind of keep them corralled. We're still with you, but then when we say, fine, you know, let's line up, you know, I gotta find these 5 kids. And then I can say, you got your, you know, so we can quick figure out who they are. You have to be able to drive your own vehicle to Austin. A lot of chaperones often choose to carpool. And chaperones are expected to eat lunch with the group at the Capitol.
You can't go to 6th Street. That's happened before.
It's happened before, so we're not just making that up. We've had parents that say, I'm a chaperone, and we go to eat lunch, and we're trying to monitor all these children, and we're like, where are our parents? And they come strolling back, well, we went off to lunch, we ate down on 6th Street, okay. So, the additional cost for chaperones is the $12 at the Bob Bullock Museum. You can pay in advance at the www.thestoryoftexas.com, or you can just get your ticket, we'll get there. There's a $10 daily rate parking garage at the Bullock Museum, and the first 2 hours of parking at the Capitol parking garage are free, and then it's $1 for each half hour after those 2.
You could just park at the Capitol parking garage, but if you choose to do that, you're looking at about a 6-block walk, because the Capitol parking garage is on the southeast side of the Capitol, and the Bullock is on the northwest. So you're looking at about a 6 to 7 block walk.
That's a good little walk. Okay, if I chaperone, does my child need to ride the bus? Yes, they have to ride the bus. Per district guidelines, all students participating in off-campus activities sponsored by the school are required to take the GISD-sponsored transportation to the venue. Students must travel on the charter bus to be marked present for that day of school. Does my child need to ride the bus back to Mambrino? No. Teachers will have a student sign-out sheet, and parents may check their students out at the conclusion of the tour. So if you're going as a chaperone and say, hey, I'm going to take my kid with me, just sign so we know they left with you and let us know, and we'll see you Monday. Okay. But the parent chaperones are the only ones who can check out their children. You can't say, well, I'm going to take my kid and this one's going to go with me. You can't take friends. You can only take your child.
And we really do encourage parent chaperones to check out their kids, only because when we come back here, the traffic is a madhouse, and so you're going to be the last of the parents that arrive, so you'll essentially be at the end of the line waiting to get your kid. And it's a long day. You really don't want to come back here. You want to just go home. So
I just want to go home too, so I might be in one of your cars.
So we encourage that.
Security protocols at the Capitol. Chaperones are required to go through the security process at the state capitol. They'll take the teachers and the students on one side, and then they're gonna guide the parents to the other side, so we just kind of split for a second. You go through the safety security check, and we go through the other side, and we meet back up in the middle. It says, because our students are part of the school-sponsored tour, they will not be required to go through the Capitol screening. Students cannot bring bags or backpacks into the Capitol. We suggest wearing pants or shorts or jackets with pockets to hold their money, their wallets, and their cell phones. Yeah, parents can.
Parents can bring whatever.
Parents can carry whatever they want, but the students can't take anything with them.
Because parents go through screening, so your
Yeah,
bag is gonna be.
so they're gonna
scanned.
dig through it. Okay. I don't feel comfortable sending my child to Austin. We've had this already this year, and we've had it in the past. It says, while we do everything possible to see to the safety of our children, we understand that sometimes parents are just not comfortable with the idea of sending their children out of the Metroplex for school trips. Students who choose not to attend the Austin field trip are still required to attend school on our field trip day. Because our field trip is a school day, and it's a school-sponsored trip, if they don't go on the trip, they do need to be at school.